Okay, so we are going to enter a table of contents and use some section breaks. So the first step in this is knowing that you have people who love you very much, and you have a husband that will help you get through this no matter what. So that's very good. Another thing too, before doing this, I think it's very wise, even though it's only 1:30 in the afternoon, to potentially open a beer or maybe some whiskey while doing this, because it's very tedious and it can be fairly boring. And that will help sort of pass the time along. And even before that, take a deep breath. Get up, relax, stretch a little, get into a power pose. So first, let's run through this. So you have the table of contents, right? To enter a table of contents, it's all hyperlinked. It's kind of funky. Just know that you're going to have to format it a little bit, but it's better than going through and having to change all the numbers every single time you do it. So where you're going to want to go is actually under References, and you're going to go to Table of Contents. So you're going to open that up. There are a bunch of different types. I think yours wants this type. I'm not 100% sure. Or maybe the TOC, Table of Contents. So you can go under here if you see how I did that. If you click the Insert Table of Contents, it'll open this up, and you get various. You can unclick that. It'll give you various options, right? So you can do distinctive, you can do modern, whatever. I think the normal template is this. And I don't know what all of these are, so yeah, I don't know what any of those are. There are various options. I don't know what to do with any of these, so anyway, it's gonna mess up some of your stuff. Don't worry about it. I don't know how many levels you want. You may want 5, so just do 5 just in case, and you'll see what those are for, right? So now we insert the table of contents. Holy moly. And there it is, all right there. So you get a bunch of table of contents. Many of these things you're not going to need. Wow. Yeah, you get a whole bunch of stuff. Wow. Field, interesting. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, so these, I think you should just be able to get rid of, right? I'm pretty sure. So you should be able to just go through this. Where did we go here? Yeah, you should be able to go through this and just get rid of a lot of this stuff. Yeah, all of this stuff, get rid of. You're going to want the abstract. You need to get rid of the introduction. You need to get rid of this. Get rid of this. So look, like I'm saying, you can go through and just remove all of these. So actually, I would just go through and get rid of all of this stuff, and then reset it. So let's set some of this stuff, okay? Actually, I'm just going to do this and see. Okay, cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at the beginning, and we're going to enter some of the information. So you don't need anything here, right? You need the publication rights, I'm assuming. And what you do is you highlight this, and then you go add text. And then the levels is basically identifying like how much you want this spaced in. So level 1 is like a main section. Level 2, right, is sort of a subsection, and then level 3 is subsection, so on and so forth. So we insert that, and it should have ended up in the table of contents. Let's try that again. So add text, level 1, update table, table of contents. Oh, what the hell, man? Well, this is irritating. Huh, okay, well. Interesting. Huh, okay. That's very odd. Oh, shit. Shit, howdy, Kendra. Oh, and also in stuff like this, you don't need all of this, right? You can delete that and then just insert a page break, and that'll do the exact same thing. I don't know what is going on with your table of contents. It's very interesting. So you should, like, how it's supposed to work is you do that. References, table of content, or actually add text, level 1. Ah, there we go. Really? Ah, I see what's happening here. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to insert a table of contents. So I see what's happening. I'm going to undo that, actually. I'm going to insert this one. And it looks like what I was doing is deleting the table, so I'm going to have to save something. Yeah, I was deleting the whole table. So you still have a little bit in there, right? So then you'll see sort of what's going on. So there's the table of contents. Ah, that's what was going on. Okay. There we go. There's your table of contents. So that, like I said, it will kind of be funky. So here we go. So we got publication rights, add text, level 1, update table. Interesting. That's really weird. So I think what's happening is it's all of this stuff is hyperlinked somehow. So you may be better off actually going through first and hyperlinking the things you want, right? So you have the dedication, which is hyperlinked, and then you're just going to have to, this is where I was talking about where it gets sort of irritating, do that, and then automatic, take off the bold. So you're going to have to kind of do that for each little piece, which is odd. And then that was your, what happened there? Acknowledgements. See, this is, again, so instead of doing this thing, do a page break, right? Because it'll keep it on the page. So that'll make your life a hell of a lot easier. Remove all of these. Remove all of these. And insert page breaks. Page breaks are really nice because it keeps everything on the right page. So you don't have to keep, making all of these. Well, this is fine, but you don't have to keep putting things or doing paragraphs, hitting enter all the way down. Okay, so what I would do is I would go through and basically insert each of these sections. So that's going to be a level 1. Don't worry about doing this. I mean, if you want to do it as you go through, that's fine. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Obviously, bold, black, middle, so on and so forth. So after you do all of that stuff, list of tables, do the same thing, right? You're going to have to go through and do all of that. But the list of tables, so basically you do something very similar with the list of tables that you can do with the table of contents. However, with the list of tables, after you get the table of contents already in there, what you can do is say this is essentially your list of tables, right? You can take this. You should be able to cut this, exit out, and then go all the way down here to your, I don't know why it keeps doing that, to your list of tables, and paste that in there. Right? So that just gets pasted right in there. There you go. That's going to be your list of tables. So that's what I'm talking about when I say you can cut it out of the table of contents. Again, stop using these. Do page breaks. Insert page break. Yeah, same thing. So now, so you sort of have an idea. I think you can tinker with it and get it worked out a little bit better. Yeah, and so go through and get all those things referenced, the dedication, each section, the acknowledgements, so on and so forth, and that'll keep the page numbers. Now let me talk to you about section breaks. So I'm assuming, let's say the abstract is part of this top section, but chapter 1 clearly is not. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to enter a section break. And what a section break does is it says this section is different than this section. And so how we do that is we go to page layout, breaks, next page. And this thing comes up, right? So this is the section break. This is saying the page starting after this one is a new section. So you see these numbers here, Roman numeral IX, and this says III. What we can do is we can edit the footer, go to page number, format page numbers, 1, 2, 3, start at 3, and then we actually, let me undo that real quick. We want to unlink to the previous section. So it's going to, that basically saying this is a completely different section, right? So we highlight this, again, go format page numbers, 1, 2, 3. I guess it starts at 3. It may start at 1. If it starts at 1, then go down to 1, right? It's up to you. So let's say it starts at 1. Say it's page 1. See, now this is formatted to page 1. This is still IX. And then we can do the same thing. Say, for some odd reason, chapter 2. Again, no more of these. Page break. Page break is much better. So if you need to do that, insert a page break. Because it'll keep everything correct, right? It'll keep everything formatted correctly. And then let's say your tables and figures, right, at the end. So yeah, so this is the Appendix A. All right, you have your thing here. So, okay, so let's say Appendix A is a new section. Go to breaks, go to page layout, breaks, next section. It adds the section. It's the section break, and then I don't know why that's doing that, but something like this, you have to do it like this, whatever. So you do that. It's 76, right? It's stopped at 76. Now this is at 1. So let's change that. Let's format the page numbers. Let's do this, and let's say it needs to start at 77, right? So it'll insert that Roman numeral 77. So that's how you use the section breaks. So hopefully that helps. That sort of eases your anxiety a little bit. A couple things I'm seeing that you're doing is stop entering all the way to a new page. Just use a page break because it keeps the formatting. And mess with the table of contents. It looks like a lot of your stuff is hyperlinked, so it's giving you more than you need. If we go back up to the table of contents, it's adding all this stuff in, for example. But after you get in there and you can remove all of that other stuff except for the things that you need, right? So you can keep this, or if you don't need this, just remove it, right? So you got your table, yep. So you can remove that. Then you can format it. You can keep these, and you can even tab these in. If you, no, actually, you can space those in if you need to, right? If you need to do double space or 3 spaces or whatever, right? So I'm just sort of messing around right now. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. So table of contents, I don't know if that's going to help as much. If it's just going to drive you nuts trying to format all of this crap and getting out stuff like this, you know, and stuff like this, and then bringing in things like that, right? I don't know. You can mess around with it, but you sort of see what we're doing here, right? So you understand how that works. Anyway, I'll let you go to it. So call me if you have questions.